Hello guys, and welcome back to part 2 of our compression series. And in this video we're going to be discussing about other parameters we need to use in compression. We'll be talking about the new release, attack time, and gain makeup, and every other features you'll be making use to make your compression very easy for you to use. So it's going to be more of practical, and I want to believe you have learned a lot in the former video, and we are going to be rounding up with the necessary ways and the reasons why you need compression. My name is Leke. If you are joining us for the first time, this is where we discuss A to Z of sound production. And please, if you have learned one or two things in our video, click the subscribe button, share, comment, and these are the things that encourage us to do more for people to learn, and it encourages us to do more research. So kindly follow us. There will not be much theory in this video. We're going to do more of practical, because from the last video people want us to do more of practical, and we're going to touch every other parameters needed to use our compression well. Stay tuned. So we need to talk about other parameters we use in compression proper. And if you are seeing this video for the first time, this is the part 2. We have our part 1. You can check our YouTube page to go through part 1. So the first parameter we want to look at is the ratio gauge in your compression. You know, when we discuss about threshold, we make us understand that that is the level at which our compression starts working. So this ratio is the one that determines the level at which your signal will be compressed. And what did I mean by that? Take for instance, if you, I hope you can see, this is ratio, and presently we are having 2 ratio 0, and the more I change, the more your compression level change. So take for instance, if I put it at ratio 1:1, what I'm saying is, as your signal pass through the compression, immediately you get to that level, your threshold level, it must take a shape. Like if I say 1:1, I'm saying out of every 1 decibel that comes in, allow the 1 to go in. But what happens if I decide to change it to 1:3? I'm saying that out of every 3 decibel that comes in through this channel, allow 1 to go in. And if I change it to 5, it will start counting, meaning that for every 5 decibel that comes through that channel, once you get to that threshold, it allows just 1 of the 5 to pass through. That means the signal will be reduced by ratio 1:5. So ratio is another important aspect of compression you need to study very well before you apply your compression. It's not enough for you to say, oh, I have applied my threshold and this is my dynamic range and threshold. That's all. You need to determine the ratio at which you want your signal to be compressed, whether it's ratio 1:1, 1:3, 1:5, 2:0, 2:5, 3:0, and the likes. You just have to make sure that you set your ratio in such a way that it will suit your kind of production. I might decide to do ratio 2:1 or 2:5. And what I'm simply implying is that once we have 5 signal 5 decibel signal that is coming into my mix, and it get to that threshold that I set earlier on, please, my compressor, compress it to 2. That means the 5 decibel that is coming in, I have instruct my compressor that once it get to that threshold, compress every 5 decibel to 2 decibel. So this is one vital key that beginners don't understand, and some of them does not even understand the word ratio. That is why we are bringing up this video. So you need to set the ratio at which you want your signal to be compressed. So another parameter is the attack. So attack and release is what I would like to discuss together, and this has to do with timing at which our compressors start working. Attack, there is slow attack and there is fast attack. Likewise, we have the slow release and slow attack. If you set a fast attack, immediately your signal pass through the threshold, it attack it in the number of time you set your attack level to. So it attacks it almost immediately when you set it at 0, but when you delay, probably you increase to something like 20 microseconds. So the compression become delay will be normal for like 24 microseconds, then it will be attacked with the compression level. But then if you decide not to set your attack, so immediately you pass the threshold, your compression attack it immediately and it starts working. So in the nutshell, your attack and release has to do with the timing at which your compressor will work. The release is in the aspect of the level at which it will release the decibel left to pass through, and why the attack is the seconds at which your compressor will start working. So actually the two work with the timing at which you want your compression to start working. And we have another one that says hold, and I want to believe this is not functional in every mixer, but then it is on Behringer X32 that you can actually hold the compression for some seconds, for microseconds before it works. You can actually set your hold level in compression to hold the level at which it will hold the signal. So after our threshold, don't forget we are going to start with the dynamic range. Get to know our dynamic range. Set your threshold. Set the ratio at which your compression will work. Then set the timing with your attack and release and hold buttons. Then you are good to go. Another one very vital important tools here is our gain in compression. So the reason why gain is very vital is that you don't want your speaker to feel that something is wrong immediately his or her voice is being compressed. So you want to make up for the loss in whatsoever signal that is coming in. It's working in a threshold, and at a time when you are singing, everything seems smooth, and immediately there is attack or there is compression coming in. If you are a good listener, you get to note. So what we are trying to achieve with our compression is to make sure that there is no sudden attack or sudden scream or sudden loudness in the music or in the auditorium or whatever you are maybe in the studio, in the production. So we are not here to actually cut off the streaming of the person or the expression the person is trying to give by shouting or the other, but we want to do it in such a way that it will not really affect the audience by sodding it on them. So that is why we are applying compressor, and at the same time we are not here to make the person feel, why did I even scream when it's not coming out, or things like that. So you want to compensate the number of decibel you have compressed. That is what the makeup gain is all about. So this makeup gain actually help you to adjust to the gain, to the level at which the music is going. So you want to fill up the loopholes that might have come in through the process of compressing, setting the threshold, release and attack. So that is what your makeup gain is all about. We have other functions on this X32, and which I believe you will come across others in other mixer. We have the one important one is the new, and then we have filter, frequency, slope, and the likes. All these are just to help you have a smooth and better production, even though you are compressing the signal. Especially the new, in the process when you are driving and you get to a bump environment, you know the feelings you get when you are climbing the bumps. So you want to make up for that bumps kind of feelings. That is when you need your new to make things balance up, or create a kind of bumping atmosphere in your mix. I want to believe we have covered a large part of compression, and if you have any question, you can reach out to us through our comment section. We like to respond to every question.